Hey guys, welcome back to AF Farms and for today's episode. So you may be noticing why I'm standing here, and you may notice something a little bit different. We've gotten rid of our farmhouse. So our farmhouse, the original farmhouse, has been here for quite a long time. I've finally removed it and I've relocated the homestead, if you will, to a new location. So come along with me and we'll go and have a look. So you may also notice too, I've started to repave the main road, so we've got the asphalt texture here. We've had a couple of harvests underway, so we've got some soybeans harvested and some sorghum. It's now October. We've also planted canola and wheat and barley. So you may notice off in the distance there are a few trees, a few buildings coming into view. So as we get a little bit closer, you'll be able to see our new home. So just over to the left here we've got our olive grove, so you can see there. And then just coming up to the main gate here, let's just zoom in a little bit. And over onto the right here we've got a patch of grapes. Nice entry, two big gates, and this is the driveway, so let's take a nice little leisurely drive up the driveway. So left and right of the driveway here we've got the pagoda dagwood, so that's a plant. Now we're in October at the moment, so I believe this is autumn, hence the colours, so you can see they're quite good to look at. Dotted along the driveway nicely like this. So this driveway has been painted using the gravel texture and the dirt and gravel texture as well on the edges, just to make it a little bit more authentic looking. You may also notice in the background there some horses, so we'll go and have a look at those shortly. The lake to our right, and then we're coming into the main residence now, so I'll just pull up out the front here and let's get out and have a look. So as you can see, main farmhouse, pretty standard. Let's take a bit of a tour. So this is a mod, I forget from which map, but it's a little bit bigger than the standard house. It has a nice big sort of wraparound veranda, which is what I wanted for the lake view. So if we just go over to the right here, got a pathway to the back stairs. You'll notice obviously the hedging, a few of the different plant styles. They look really good in fall. Now, little outdoor area with a swimming pool. So this is also a mod from Goldcrest Valley, I think. Nice timber deck, picnic table, nice view of the lake. So you may notice with the lake I've removed the little central island just to give it a more uniform look. So just have a nice expanse of water rather than a little island in the middle. Coming around this way we've got our arbour, so this is just a little entertaining area. So this looks like an oven and stove, some tables, oven and stove, a snack cart with some very delicious looking food, ice cream cart. So these are all mods, by the way, if you're not sure. So this is in the decoration pack. A couple of benches if we want to sit back and admire the lake, and our giant grain silo over there. Let's go back around this way briefly. So I've got a couple of big oak trees, pretty sure they're oak trees from memory, and they're just sort of dotting along the pathway here. That's our driveway where we drove in. Coming around to the front of the house, so I haven't decided quite what I'm going to do in this area here. I was going to have some greenhouses and some other buildings, but I think just the view of the lake is good enough at this stage. I may even extend the grapevines in this area a little bit. The reason why I've left them sort of back from the... Actually, I'll have a look at this. We'll have a look at the side garden first before we... So this is the side garden. A couple more of the pagoda dagwoods there. And then some nice thorny berries, I think they're called. Alright, moving on to the sheds. So we've got 2 3-bay sheds. Big enough to fit the Fent in, which is excellent. So I haven't got any equipment or tools in here yet, but they'll come soon enough. And a new addition to the farm, which I think is pretty cool, because if you've got a country estate, you've got to have horses, right? So we've got the Horman extra large pasture horse stable. Yeah, let's go with stable. And then we've got another access route here, which I haven't finished yet, but this is just to allow bigger vehicles to come through this section. So if we just, I'll jump on a horse here, and we'll have a bit of a look around. So let's get him walking. So we've got an equestrian arena. It's a hard word to say. So this is also a mod. This is part of the paddock. So obviously the base game paddocks have a relatively small fenced area, and you can see the boundary here with this texture. This is where it comes to normally. However, I've just fenced off a larger area, so I'll get him going a bit quicker now so we can cruise around, just to give it a little bit more of that open sort of authentic feel. And then the proper equestrian arena, which is just here. So if I take Oscar into the arena, we can ride around, do our jumps, all that sort of stuff. So if you're not familiar with horses, you've got to ride them daily to get their percentage up, which sort of helps them grow and improve and increase their value. So it's all been landscaped, nice grass planted, got a nice white picket fence on the outskirts of the horse paddock, if you will. And moving over, so let's actually we'll keep going, because we can take Oscar out a little bit further. So we're up on this hill here. So currently this is empty, but this is potentially going to be an extension of either the grapevines over there, so a bigger vineyard up on the hill, or we might put some more olive groves in, sort of going up and down the hill here. So I've carved out a bit of area into our canola field. Obviously we've cut into our road network a little bit, so we'll adjust that out over time, but just to give it a bit of a grand feel. And obviously we've landscaped it, smoothed it all out. Had a pretty big hill here, which we've sort of fixed up, and I've got the grapes currently just going along to this point. So the plan is to, if we keep cruising down a little bit further, just to possibly extend it out further, give us a decent production facility, and obviously just take advantage of the landscape. So we've got that hill there. The grapevines will look pretty cool. Now we'll go and have a look at our olive grove. So this entry is just a mod. So we've got our olive grove just here. So it extends up through to the main road area. So I've obviously cut the main road off. Now I'm thinking I may extend the olive grove out a little bit. I'm potentially going to move this silo again. over to the left a little bit, so I'll have to empty it, carry all the grain over to the new location, because it just looks a bit strange being right next to the homestead estate, if you will. So I guess the inspiration for this was more of a country vineyard type of residence, so big, rather than just having a big blank area with some trees. Kind of makes sense to take advantage of the orchards, so the olive grove continues up that way as well. I've left a gap here so I can drive vehicles through this section over here. So this will be for harvesting grapes. If I ever need to bring anything through here, I've got a nice big sort of area to drive through over and above the main driveway, because the driveway really is just so if we go for a little bit of a cruise around, it's just to take advantage of the curves of the lake. Have that as like a central point. So if we just go in here quickly. Oh, don't get stuck on there. So I've sort of tapered the lines here to follow the contour of the driveway. And these pagoda dagwoods, so I didn't want the trees to be very tall. I wanted them to sort of complement and give a visual of the lake, so as you drive in you can kind of see it. And then same with the vineyard, it sort of just wraps around the lake. I've got enough room here to drive tractors and stuff through if need be. Obviously the grapes aren't in bloom yet, so it'll be a little bit more visually interesting once they grow. And I've just tried to sort of make it uniform as possible through here. So now that I'm having a proper walk around, I think I may extend the grapevines across the front of the house here a little bit, because there's a couple of other things I could put here, but I think the grapevines would look pretty cool, sort of hanging out the front of the house. So, but we'll see what happens. And yeah, that's about it. So I've tried to put a bit of effort into the landscaping, as you can see, with the tree choices and the bushes. So these bushes that you see in the garden beds are essentially not plants, but they're in they're plants, not trees, sorry. So they are in the landscape tool. So let's go put Oscar back. If I can get off him. There we go. So I'll have a quick look at the horses. So we've got 15. So I did have 16. Something's obviously happened to one of them. Or maybe I only bought... Maybe it's not counting Oscar because he's not in the pen. Yeah, okay, so now that Oscar is back... Maybe not. Anyway, so that's basically what we've done so far. A couple of other... Let's have a look at the big map. So we've got our wheat planted, we've got our barley planted, we've just harvested the soybeans, we've got our canola planted as well. So we can see that, yep, we've got, what have we got? Barley, small patch of wheat. So I potentially should have done a bigger patch of wheat, but we'll see what happens there. Unless that's wheat over here. That's canola. So we've got a pretty big canola patch. So it's just getting used to the crop rotation currently. I've got a bit of a had a bit of a missed seeding application here. So I've got and you can see here as well where it's overlapped. So that's just using the big seeders. Sometimes they go a little bit astray, which is an issue. So I've got to come up with a plan for that. What else is new? We've got another road train. So this one here. So we did have one before. However, I got rid of it. And I've recommissioned. It's a bit out of whack for some reason. So just to make loading and unloading the silo a little bit easier after a big harvest, I basically just drive this in a straight line and then get the harvesters to line up next to it and then dump all the product in, and then we just go through and drop it off. So I'll just drop this off and we'll go have a look at the Rubicons. So that should be unloading there. Current numbers of crop, so 4 million, nearly 5 million wheat, 1.7 million in soybeans, and getting close to 1 million in oats. So quite a substantial amount there. So these are the Rubicons from last episode. So we've been utilising them for fertiliser, and they make pretty short work of the area. So yeah, that's about it for now. Obviously the horses are going to take a little bit of looking after, because I don't want them to... I'm not sure if they die in this game. I've got a feeling they don't. But, look, I may or may not look after them religiously. They're more just there for a visual at this stage. But they can be quite profitable if you play with them properly. But at the moment, really happy with how the farmhouse has come together. Really happy with the road, the landscaping. I've still got to figure out what I'm going to do with these areas here. And then, yeah, moving forward, start working on the rest of the main farm. So I guess the next big project is going to be the silo, and then our production facilities are going to go basically in this area here. So I'll jump into the build mode quickly. So in this section here, so all this grey area is going to be productions, logistics, so for our central warehouse mod, factories, farm sheds, our silo. So I may even push out into this field here a little bit if I need more room, just to make some more room for the homestead. And just while we're here, we'll give it a bit of a flyover so we can sort of see what I've done. So you can see how the grapes are laid out left to right, and they wrap around the lake. The house itself with the nice big trees. So the trees in this game are actually quite good. I really do like them. Got a nice little grassed area here. Obviously our driveway. The driveway took a little bit of doing, but it actually came up pretty good with the in-game textures. So the different gravel states that you can use. And then obviously the Pagoda Dagwoods. I mean, look at that. Just looks very grand. Very country. And then obviously our olive grove. So I think I'd probably like to make that a little bit bigger. So that's what this area over here might end up being utilised for. So I might run olive groves running straight up and down from where we are now, and then run the grapes parallel up to, so run them parallel from this area up to about here, or vice versa. Might change direction a little bit just to give it a bit more visual interest. But yeah, that's pretty much the state of the farm at the moment. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.